Hey, good morning again, everybody, from Silver Steel Studios here in Houston. This is John and Bogdan with Art Chat. And John, you want to do some housekeeping?
Absolutely. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. A couple of things. First of all, we are broadcasting via Zoom so that we can both be on the camera at the same time. And so that means that if you're watching us on Facebook Live, there's a bit of a delay, so please bear that in mind. We're not ignoring you. If you have questions or comments, put them down in the comment section. That lets us know that you're here. If you want to remain anonymous, that's perfectly okay too. But welcome. Also, everything that we're showing today is for sale. The whole idea of doing Art Chat is for us to actually share the work that we are producing and that is available. So we're not teasing you, they are for sale.
Now looking behind you, you have been busy.
Yeah, it's funny. We're getting ready for the big spring biennial. What are they calling it this year? The spring showcase.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get as much up as I can, and hopefully a lot will sell. AVM is with us this morning. Good morning,
Hi, AVM.
But and so if you find something you love, let us know. Everything's for sale. We can get it shipped to you wherever in the world you are.
And I just recently shipped to Ohio,
Just to Ohio.
They got the picture and it's hanging on their wall, and what a beautiful story.
And their lives are better for it.
Let me get back to the presentation and start the show.
Okay.
Now, guys, the first part of the show, I want to highlight my work, which is Sparta, and it's a sculpture photography that has been selected into the 38-member VAA member show. And your piece is new, Summer's Past, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So my piece, it's one of the very early pieces of my sculpture photography I put together, and I have various spread out in various shows around town. And I had this one in the studio, and I said I'm gonna submit it for the next call from VAA, this one and some others, and they picked up this one, and it's for sale. It's in Sabine Street Studios right now, all the way till the end of this month, and it's a beautiful piece, and it's made out of elements I photographed in Germany, in Romania, and so on. And I added to make it 3D, I needed to add a lot of acrylic and a lot of pastes and cracking paste, so I can mimic the reality of the place, and which is, some of you would know, it's a place in Romania. There used to be a thermal bath, and that it's in total collapse.
And I think it's fascinating that you're exploring the architectural bits, and you're using architectural elements, using cement, mesh wire, and
I really wanted to do this kind of work a long time ago, but I wasn't ready for it until you just have to do it. I was afraid that I'm gonna waste too much materials and that it ain't gonna go anywhere. But it was lovely to see how they how to say that evaluate, how they evolve. Every piece has a same concept, different approach. You learn how to bring the elements, some more on the front, some on the back, and you play with the depth as well. And it was a very interesting journey for me, and I really enjoy. And it creates this opportunity to create your own space. For the elements you have, you recreate your own story. You create a story that it's different than a photograph, but yet it's constructed with photographs.
Amazing to me is that you take a a three-dimensional object, you photograph it, making it two-dimensional, and now you're making it three-dimensional again. It's just, I think it's an amazing process. It just really doesn't capture, now that you've got it again as a two-dimensional photograph, the complexity of the construction of these kind of, I don't know what you call them, some sort of collage work. And they're very, very stunning and very interesting.
And I actually, photographs are lovely, and especially architectural and decay architecture, I find them very beautiful. But you take these elements, the most important elements out of them, you just tear it out, and you absolutely get rid of the noise and just keep your eyes focused on what's important.
And you're really telling a different story now. You're creating a new story out of these architectural pieces.
Right. And there's a lot going on in each of one of those pieces, and ultimately it's some sort of an abstract, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
You can make your own story. You can ask yourself, why is that there? And what's behind that? Where is that coming from? And so on. And I think that makes it beautiful, and it's a conversation.
Stunning.
Tell us about yours.
This is Summers Past. I've been doing some studies for a possible commission that I've been offered, and the lady wanted me to take the Pancamarga work that she saw and liked, but she wanted it in reds and oranges and hot colors. And so I've been trying to experiment with that on paper, and I just love these pieces. They're coming together quite nicely. I'm trying to incorporate the kind of imagery and symbols that I used in Pancamarga, but this has a lot more going on. It's lots of pencil work, lots of markers, ink. It's all totally mixed media, acrylics on paper. And I just really love working on paper, and I want to do more of it. It's a good size. I have it here, just so you can see the scale of it. Captures the light well.
And of course, while it's dry mounted, and the one is while it's framing, when you add a white border or whatever color border,
right,
bring everything.
Really changes it when you frame them, doesn't it? And so I really have been enjoying the process, exploring those ideas and trying to reimagine them in a different palette. I think it's been really exciting, and I'm going to do more of them. To share this today. It seems like the hot colors are going to be overwhelming, but they're not. I think they're, at some point you think that if you've got a lot of reds and oranges, it's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be harder to look at, but it's not. It's quite pleasing. I put in those purples, and I think that kind of violet in there makes it to me a little easier to watch.
It's very, very pleasant. I love these reds.
Yeah, I thought they turned out remarkably well, and I'm going to keep going with them too.
Yes. So, guys, we are in several shows around the city. One is in Spring Street Studios. The art celebrates a story. Each of us has 3 pieces in the show, and if you haven't visited the Spring Street Studios yet, it's time to go. The show will end on May 14, and it's a beautiful show with artworks from Soya Yards artists, John, or more?
All over Soya Yards, yes. And there are probably like 54 artists, something like that. It's a big show.
Yeah, but it's a big space as well.
Good job. It's a beautiful space, and they've done a really good job hanging it. And we're very lucky to have been invited to participate.
We also have works on display here at Silver Street Studios, part of the Salon d'Art exhibition. And what do we have to say about this one?
Well,
It
we don't
lasted
have much time left.
Yeah, it's May 11. It's the end of it, and being a salon d'art, meaning each artist is able has a designated space, and they can change it every time, every day, every week, whatever they please, and can sell off the wall. And I think it's a very, how do you call these kind of shows when they changing all the time? Very.
Well, it keeps the interest up, right? It makes it more interesting because it can be different every time you come to visit, and it's really fun for the artists. I think that the artists love the idea that they've got this little display area and they can do whatever they like within that area, and it's a fun way to show. And you'd think it would look like, you know, a garage sale, but it doesn't. I mean, these people who are very talented and artistic, and they do a really good job, and they put their best stuff out, and it's a nice show.
As a matter of fact, my pieces are so large. I'm not going to change them, but I have two large sculptural photographs works. Unusual for me to work that big, and that's the perfect space for them to be displayed. You know, I won't have room in the studio for that. But
it's a beautiful gallery space. They're well lit. It's a great gift for the tenants here to be able to display on the walls like that.
And as I said, the end of the month, it's the end of the VAA 38 member show, where both John and I have been selected. And that is in Sabine Street Studios, close to our studio. So you can take a weekend, a Saturday, come visit us here, and then go to Sabine Street Studios, or start from Sabine Street Studios and come back for a cup of coffee or a glass of wine into our.
You make it sound like it's so far away. It's this Saturday.
It is Saturday, yeah. So,
but we were very lucky to get into this show. A lot of people submitted, not everybody got in, and I think it's a lovely show. And the curator, the juror, Lester Marks, is actually the ambassador for art from the mayor of Houston. So we get VAA does a really, really good job of getting our work out there and seen by interesting curators and jurors, as well as the way they promote throughout the educational programs and activities that they have. It's a great organization, and we're lucky to have been included.
And next in line is this Saturday, guys, is the Spring Showcase. April 30th from 2 to 7 p.m. Actually, I'm having a feeling that we're going to be here all day.
Yeah, we'll be here early and stay late.
That is
probably
10 o'clock till 7 o'clock, or even later if there'll be people around. But this is an important event for all Soya Arts artists, and it's very important that you come and collect a piece of art from some of us.
Everyone will be open. There'll be food trucks. They're probably dancing elephants, but it's a big deal. They pull out all the stops for this event. Now they do 2 a year, kind of a biennial things, and they've called now the one in the spring showcase. We're moving it a little earlier in the day because we used to go 5 to 9, and some people would complain that there's not enough parking, or they don't want to be downtown at night. So we're making it a little bit earlier, and should cover a good portion of the day. Lots of people will be here. Come early. You may have to park a bit far away, but we'll make it worth your while.
Now, I'm wondering now, looking at this display, what are you doing there with that bucket of things?
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't look very happy about it anyway.
Okay, guys.
Looks like I'm applying makeup.
Another one in line is the other art fair in Dallas, where both John and I will go and participate, and that is May 12th to May 15th. And please do come join us in Dallas. I'm going to bring with me several pieces from Inheritance series, and probably some smaller pieces from the sculptural. I don't have a lot of room there to display, but I want to make a statement to whatever I will bring with me. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be lovely. This is not my first fair, but it's my very big first fair in the States.
Right. It is my first fair, and I'm going to be taking a lot of the Punkamarga stuff, and we have some flyers and some zines to hand out, and hopefully, from what I understand, looking at the Venice Biennale and how that's gone, and the other art fair that was in Los Angeles recently, I think people are back out and they're going back to the fairs. Fairs were the biggest way to sell art before the pandemic. And after 3 years, I think people are coming back. So fingers crossed we do well. It's kind of a big deal to go to a big fair. And again, it's the other art fair. It's not the main art fair. So it is more for emerging and artists. So it should be very exciting and very, very hopeful that we do well.
Fabulous. So the last in line for now, it's another VAA selection. VA has the member show, and then in the same time they have the jury open exhibit. And unlike before, I wanted to get these pictures out of the box, and this is a series called Nature Remember. It's a beautiful series, actually. I haven't shown it to anyone before. I haven't exposed it too much, and I decided to start promote it. And so I submitted these two pictures, the lunchtime here on the left with the yellow petals, and the cardinal on the right, and both of them, like never before, has been selected. I think there's two great pieces and such a beautiful story, Well,
I think it's important to explain here what you're doing in this kind of abstract way. Growing up in the South, and you did the same in Romania, it's probably world over. When you went to grandma's house, everything that was important was on a doily. There were these little stitched, usually maybe grandma made them herself, but there were these little lace doilies that was there to protect the furniture and to protect the piece. And in order to get onto a doily, it had to be important. And so what Bogdan has done here is he's created these abstract doilies out of natural materials to highlight these kind of absurd statues of animals. And they harken back to a time when that would have been your experience of cardinals and deer and other things.
And I remember my time. We never had in my family this many doilies or many porcelain. Of course, we had some, but there were friends of ours whose homes were filled with this, and the doilies were just at some point it was like very fluffy. There was a competition who has the most gaudy looking doilies. And or colorful, or oh my God, it was like a nightmare. But now they all disappear. I haven't seen them in anybody's home. And
good riddance to a certain degree.
And that was my inspiration.
But they did mark the idea that something was important. And here you're creating this image of the endangered species, the degradation of the planet and natural resources, and you're marking them as important. And that was kind of the message behind it. I think they're very intriguing.
And now they are both printed on 24 by 24, and they are gonna get framed as well, so that they'll make it in time to the show. Fabulous. Moving forward, we have a new vlog out. Yay. And if you haven't follow us yet on YouTube, please go ahead and do to catch up with what's new with us. a lot actually. Here I'm getting ready for helping John for the Dallas Art Fair, printing his heads, but it covers probably a week and a half of creative work, and what are we putting up with these days.
Mm-hmm.
So just a reminder to follow us on YouTube. You just have to search for John Bishop Fine Art and follow our channel. If you are on Instagram, please do follow us on John Bishop Fine Art of Bogdan on Instagram, and of course on Facebook, John Bishop Fine Art and Bogdan Photo Art. And again, we want to thank you for watching us today, watching us all the time, hearing our stories, putting up with our accidents and blood. And yes, thank you for everything.
Thank you.
What's new? You know what? I managed to do some new work in some small sculptural. I have this element on the table, and you know me, I don't want to waste anything. And so I put up a new piece that is 16 by 16. Actually, I have it around me here. Let me share it with you. I think it's another cute one that can make a
very nice
statement, you know. It doesn't have yet a name, but if you guys have an idea of a name, write it down in the chat on Facebook, and I'll take a look on a later time today. What else is there on the... Oh, my illustrations, your Mickey Mouse and a sweater.
This is Mickey Mouse in a turtleneck.
Yeah, I'm still enjoying doing some digital illustrations, and I think this will print very nicely, and I'm gonna keep doing them for a while before I commit on printing, because printing is expensive. But you know, I feel the need to add some colors in my life and some fun stuff. So this is how I
love them.
This is how I work with that need. All right, it's 10:20, guys, and it's time for... say that again?
We should use some of those illustrations in some greeting cards. We need to make some cards.
Oh, those good, look good for cards as well. Mm-hmm. But listen, it's 10:20, and it's time to jump for the second part of the show, and that is I'm gonna show Anticipation, not randomly, just because this is one of the pieces I'm gonna bring with me at Dallas Art Fair. And you have here Detachment from Bancamarga. So first of all, I'm going to have these 4 30 by 40, maybe just slightly larger prints for the Dallas Art Show, and I'm gonna just show you in a minute what large is like.
Are these the ones we just picked out?
You know, I'm not joking.
They're giant.
So this is
big like that, they're stunning.
Yeah, this came from the framer yesterday, and he's gonna go to Dallas. And I have 4.
Big, Bogdan. It feels like you're in the room with them.
Yeah. This is the whole idea, to feel you like it's part of your home. It's like another entrance, another entity in there. It's just great. And again, for a while, I print this in a medium size prints, and I realized that in order to feel these images, you have to print them big. And this is when I saw this on the studio, on the table printed, my breath just stopped for a second. You know, it's like, oh my God, it makes sense now. It makes you like stepping into another world.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be anticipation, and I will have passage. I have the reception pictures I share here over time, and smaller others. And I think it's stunning.
They're outstanding. The idea that something so kind of decrepit and disheveled can still be so elegant. It's so peaceful, and I don't understand how those two things go so well together. It's not highly ornate. It's not decorated magnificently. There's this invitational quality because you want to go from room to room, kind of that receding vista there. That it gives the idea of some noblesse, some real elegance in a room that is not particularly elegant at all.
And the colors in this particular building decay.
Stunning, and those are the true colors, right?
Yes, it decays so beautiful. It's almost unbelievable. But yes, anticipation. It's going to Dallas. It's available for collection as well. There are only 5 editions in this series, so. Now, actually, I have only 4 left. 1 has sold. So this is
no more.
My time, and now it's your time to talk about Detachment.
Detachment. One of the things I'm going to take, really the things I'm going to take other than the little heads to Dallas are things left over from the Punk Amarga last summer. And so one of the ones that I'm going to take is called Detachment. It is a work on paper. I did 4 on paper, and as well as varying sizes on canvas. And again, just love working on paper. It's exactly the same size as the one I just showed you, but it has all of that color palette and themes that we're going through Punk Amarga. If you don't know what Punk Amarga is a collection that I'm creating over a long period of my career in life. So I'm going to do 20 paintings every 5 years for the next 20 years. So I can't die until after I'm 80.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, so this is from the first installment of the Punk Amarga series. And I know Frank has one, and Frank and Tommy have them. And the series is still ongoing, but this is from the first installment. So I just love I love the movement in it. It to me, the ones on paper were really different from the ones on canvas, but in a good way. And like I say, I think I have only 1 left on paper, and this is it. Taking it, and I've got it here because framed, they just look magnificent. Thanks to Bogdan's framing skills. And he's got it kind of mounted, floating inside this frame. So you can see my light source.
But we got the point, yes.
Yeah, the size is good. It looks magnificent framed. It's a lovely series, and of course, the most important part is that when you become a collector of Punk Amarga, you get a little pin that says Punk Amarga, and that's worth the price of the painting alone.
Yeah.
No, so thank you guys very much for that. I'm going to take these. I'm excited about the show, and hopefully we'll sell a few more of them. I'm getting ready for the next installment in 2025.
Yeah. So John, it's 10:30 now, and it's time for us to end up the art chat this week.
Magnificent.
Guys, thank you for being with us today. Thank you for watching us. I hope you enjoy what we've shared with you. And we'll see you next week. And you have a fabulous rest of the week and an amazing weekend. So remember, we expect you this Saturday here at Silver Steel Studios for the spring showcase from 2 to 7 p.m.
Please.
Bye.
Thank you guys. Have a good week.